The 1973 Yom Kippur War saw one of the most intense aerial rivalries of the Cold War, the Soviet-built MiG-21 Fishbed versus the American F-4 Phantom II. This is the story of the duel of October 1973, a clash that tested two distinct philosophies of air combat to their absolute limits. October 6, 1973, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The roar of over 200 Egyptian aircraft shattered the silence of the Sinai. For the Egyptian Air Force, this was the moment of redemption and a full-scale assault. In the skies above, a legendary rivalry was about to reach its peak. The Soviet-built MiG-21 Fishbed versus the American-made F-4 Phantom II, known in Israel as the, quote, Kurnas, or sledgehammer. These aircraft were born from two fundamentally different philosophies of war, each with distinct advantages and glaring weaknesses. The MiG-21 was the interceptor, built to be small, light, and agile. It was a true pilot's plane. In a close-in dogfight, the MiG-21 could outturn the Phantom, and its small profile made it nearly invisible to the eye until it was too late. However, it had very short range and rudimentary radar. The F-4 Phantom was the multi-role brute. It was a flying powerhouse with massive power and sophisticated electronics, including a second crew member to manage the advanced radar. But the F-4 had liabilities. It was huge and left a visible trail of black engine smoke. If it got lured into a slow-speed turning fight with a MiG, its size and power became a fatal weakness. The first day of the war brought a stark clash of doctrines and aircraft capability, famously demonstrated in the Ophira air battle. Near Sharm el-Sheikh, just 2 Israeli Phantoms scrambled to meet an overwhelming force of 28 Egyptian aircraft. The disparity was extreme, outnumbered 14-1. Despite the odds, the Phantoms used their superior radar and high-speed energy tactics, a crucial advantage, to down 7 MiGs without a single loss. The Israelis employed the School of the Air, training pilots for aggressive, independent decision-making. The Egyptians were often restricted by rigid Soviet doctrines, requiring pilots to follow strict orders from ground control, stifling their initiative. While the MiG-21 struggled tactically, Egypt had a key strategic advantage: the surface-to-air missile, or SAM umbrella. By staying under the protection of the SA-2, SA-3, and the mobile SA-6 missiles, the Egyptian Air Force didn't need to win every dogfight. They simply needed to keep the Israeli Air Force away from their ground troops. On October 14th, Egypt made a critical mistake, launching an armored offensive beyond the SAM's reach. Military historians agree. Strict adherence to the umbrella would have forced the Phantoms into the missile-killing zones. Had Egyptian pilots been given more autonomy to break formation and engage based on their own situational awareness, the MiG-21's maneuverability might have yielded many more kills. Finally, low-level specialization was key. The F-4's radar struggled at very low altitudes. Egypt could have focused more on hit-and-run tactics, where the Phantom's long-range missiles had less advantage. The Yom Kippur War provided crucial lessons that still resonate today about air power, technology, and strategic coordination. The 1973 war proved that technology is only half the battle. Training, doctrine, and coordinated strategy are equally vital to success. While the Phantom was the more technically capable machine, the MiG-21 remained a deadly threat when used within a coordinated system, leveraging its agility and speed. In the end, Egypt won the political war, but the duels between the Fishbed and the sledgehammer would forever be remembered as the most intense air combat of the Cold War era.